Hey y'all, welcome back to another soft skills lesson. So we've spent the last 6 weeks talking about these 6 soft skills. I'm Miss Faith, by the way, if you don't know. But we've spent the past 6 weeks talking about these 6 soft skills. So I want to quickly go over those and then I'll get into what we are talking about today. So we've talked about flexibility, advocacy, persistence, teamwork, problem solving, and last but not least, attention. So these are 6 things that if we can work on and grow in, we can be even more successful adults. And we've been talking a lot about how these things relate to our current season with everything going on with COVID-19. And it's even been great reminders for myself, reminding myself all these great things. But I'm hoping you guys are getting a lot out of these 6 skills as well. But today, I want to talk about a little different topic that relates to these soft skills. So today I want to be talking about going back out in public. I know for us in Charlotte, everything is starting to reopen up as of this week, and other places around in South Carolina and what have you are even more so opened. So going back out in public is kind of a new thing we haven't been used to. None of us have really been home for 2 months before and then had to figure out how to go back into public, right? And with the virus still around and people still getting sick, there's some things we need to be mindful of when we do go back out in public. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about 3 things that we need to be mindful of and 3 things we can do while we're going back out into public, and then relate them to some of our soft skills and talk about why all of this is important. So with going back out in public, I came up with 3 things that are major that we should be doing as we go back out into stores or restaurants or to pick up food or whatever the case may be, and so that we can stay healthy. That's the main reason why we're going to do these things, is to stay healthy. We don't want us getting sick. We don't want our mom and dad getting sick, sister, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, whoever you are close to in your life. You do not want them getting sick, and myself included. So there are 3 things that we can focus on to stay healthy. And then we'll get into how these relate to our soft skills. So, first thing we can do is washing our hands more or using hand sanitizer. But obviously washing hands is a little bit better. So washing our hands more, that is something that's going to be super important. I know most of us already are washing our hands, but as we go back out in public, it's even more important that we're washing our hands more, like right before we leave the house, right when we come back, that sort of thing. Especially before and after we eat, to make sure to be even extra cautious, all that good stuff. Making sure we're washing our hands even more than we were before to help kill any of those germs or anything that could have gotten on our hands while we've been out in public. And the next thing that's going to be something that we'll talk about is wearing a face mask. Maybe we'll be wearing a face mask. Maybe we'll see other people wearing a face mask. And that's different for us, obviously. We usually aren't used to seeing a lot of people in masks, or we're not used to wearing masks ourselves. So that's going to be something that we can do to keep us healthy, but also something to be cognizant of that we're going to see other people wearing, right? So wearing a face mask is that second thing that we're going to be mindful of while going back out in public, right? And then the third thing is going to be staying 6 feet away from people. So even if 6 feet is kind of a hard measurement to grasp, we just know that we should not get close to anyone. We should make sure we leave lots of space between us and anyone else in the store that we don't live with. So that's going to be super important because that's even more helpful for us staying healthy and staying away from those germs. And a lot of stores will have X's for their checkout lines or boxes or whatever the case may be to show you where to stand to stay away from someone. So make sure you're paying attention to the floor and of your stores and grocery stores while you're out shopping, because a lot of times they're going to tell you how to stay 6 feet away from someone. Or you might even have to wait outside if there's too many people in there. That's another visual I could have added. You might have to wait outside, right? Because stores are opening on what's called limited capacity. So they're not allowing as many people in as they were before. So those are a bunch of things that we can be mindful of while we go back out into public. And those are washing our hands more, wearing a face mask, and staying 6 feet away from people. So, I told you guys that this is super important because it's going to keep us and our friends and family healthy. But you might be thinking, Faith, why are we talking about this when we were just talking about our soft skills like flexibility and advocacy and persistence and all that stuff? Well, I want to show you guys. So some of these soft skills that we learned definitely relate to going back out in public. So that's what I want to talk about next. I'll show you how these things relate. So with flexibility, we're going to need flexibility going out in public because these are all new things for us. We aren't used to making sure we're washing our hands more often or wearing a face mask or seeing other people wear a face mask. And we're not used to making sure we stay so far apart from people. So this is definitely going to require flexibility while we get used to those things, right? I know I'm still getting used to them, so that's going to require flexibility on that part. So that first lesson we did on flexibility is going to be super important to remember while we go back out in public, right? The next one I think relates is persistence. Persistence in the fact that we're going to have to do this every single time we go out in public for a while. We don't know how long this is going to last. We don't know until it'll be safe or that there'll be a vaccine to keep us healthy. So we're going to have to be persistent and continue with going with these measures and these items I just talked about to make sure we all stay healthy and keep other people healthy. So persistence is going to be really important too while going back out in public. And then I think there might be one more that relates, right? So I think attention relates too, because these things are going to require our special care and our focus to make sure we're doing them correctly. It's going to be really important for me not to forget my mask in the car. It's going to be really important for me to remember the fact that I need to stay away from people. It's going to be really important that I stay focused on washing my hands well so that the germs are actually eliminated and killed off by the soap and water. So those 3 soft skills especially are important. But I guess we could even add even more teamwork. It might require some teamwork with your family members to make sure you remember those things. Maybe you need some help from them or whatever the case may be. So these soft skills relate to so many things. And that's what I'm going to be spending the next few weeks talking about. We're going to be talking about different activities and situations and everything and bring up how these soft skills relate. So since we talked about going out in public today, I hope you are more ready to know what to do when you go out in public. And I hope you see how these soft skills are important and the soft skills that you can focus on practicing when you start to go out in public. And so I'm super excited to keep going with these videos, and I have much more topics that are swimming around in my brain that I'm going to be working on for you guys. And I don't have a teaser for next week because I'm still thinking up the perfect video and topic. But if you missed any of the videos on the 6 soft skills, definitely go back in the Facebook event page or the DSA YouTube channel or wherever you can find them to make sure you check them out. Because as we go, I'm going to be mentioning them in every single video and you don't want to miss out, right? So also, if you're going out in public and practicing any of these soft skills, just leave a comment, a picture, a video, whatever the case may be, because I want to see you guys working on these soft skills and I want to be able to shout you guys out. So make sure you're doing that. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week and go into the weekend well, and I will see you in the next video.